President Trump, in between his re-inauguration yesterday at noon and the last inaugural ball of the night, signed dozens of executive actions and orders to hit the ground running in his second term.
For the first time in 4 years, President Trump is waking up here at the White House, and it comes after he spent all day yesterday really signing a frenzy of executive orders. Many of those executive orders focused on border security, freezing regulations, the environment, and energy policy. He also pardoned about 1,500 people who were charged in the January 6th Capitol riot. Trump also revealed his administration's planning to impose 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico beginning around February 1st.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich. There are already lawsuits over the president's order to end automatic citizenship for anyone born in the United States.
It's ridiculous. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, we'll see. We have very good ground.
Well, almost every country in North and South America has automatic birthright citizenship. Many others have it with some limitations. Winter storms in the forecast for much of the South.
Cities as far south as Houston, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, as well as Pensacola, Tallahassee, and Destin, Florida, all under winter storm warnings. Houston has already closed its major airports, while governors in Florida and Louisiana declared preemptive states of emergency. The last recordable snowfall in New Orleans was back in 2009. The cold weather could set new low temperature records in Missouri, Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama. Most areas could see several inches of snow over the next few days. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
There are evacuation orders in San Diego County, California. 3 wildfires broke out overnight and spread. There is an extreme fire weather warning in Southern California again due to high wind. America's listening to Fox News.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
At least 66 people are killed in a hotel fire in Turkey.
The fire started at around 3:30 a.m. local time in a 12-story hotel in a resort named Kartalkaya. The cause isn't yet clear, but Turkish officials say it began in the hotel's restaurant. 2 of the victims died after jumping from the building in an attempt to escape. One survivor, a ski instructor, told reporters the hotel was engulfed in smoke and it was hard to find fire escapes. There were 234 guests inside at the time. Experts point out that the hotel's position on the side of a cliff is hampering efforts to put out the flames. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Thursday, President Trump is scheduled to address the World Economic Forum happening now in Davos, Switzerland.
The annual gathering held in the Alpine Resort each January presents itself as a setting where the world's political, business, and financial leaders meet to solve big issues. A crop of heads of state, politicians, and business moguls will be in attendance. It's estimated that 3,000 leaders from over 130 countries will be there. Among them, Ukraine's President Zelensky, the Vice Premier of China, and the presidents of Argentina and South Africa.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. The second biggest shopping mall in America, behind the Mall of America in Minnesota, is in New Jersey, and its operators are throwing their weight around.
The massive American Dream Mega Mall is in Bergen County next to MetLife Stadium where the Giants and Jets play. The county's blue laws prohibit most retailers from opening on Sundays. But Sundays are important days for malls. So for the past year, the American Dream has remained open that day. County officials aren't pleased, arguing that the mall has an unfair advantage over other businesses in the area. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Fuji TV in Japan is losing dozens of advertisers over a reported sexual assault by one of the country's most famous TV hosts, Masahiro Nakai. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news U.S. Department of Justice reaching an agreement with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office to resolve an investigation that was launched after the deadly shooting of Sonia Massey. DOJ looked into allegations of discriminatory practices by police and dispatching services. The department didn't find any evidence of discrimination, but worked with the county to develop measures that address concerns and improve community relations. A person wounded following a shooting in Arcola. Police say a man found shot Friday in the 200 block of South Pine Street. He was taken to the area hospital where his condition is not known. Authorities investigating a deadly hit and run in Urbana. Police say an SUV slammed into a Honda Civic stopped at the intersection of University and Kohler Avenues. 5 people in the Honda taken to hospitals, including a 20-year-old woman who died. The driver of that SUV ran off, remains on the loose. Anyone with information on this case, you're asked to contact local police. And that's a check of your news this morning. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
That's a horrible story.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
2 young ladies die on a hit and run, and they have the Mitsubishi. It's an SUV. They have it, so that's registered to somebody. It's just got to have some twists and turns in there for the police to be asking for help and Crime Stoppers and everything else.
Right, 373-TIPS.
Yeah, maybe it was a stolen vehicle. I mean, I don't know.
But you'd think they'd say that in the news report.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really confused with the lack of information because the public generally can help and businesses have cameras and everything else. And at 1:20 in the morning, there's probably not a lot of people on University Avenue. And there's a reason the guy ran, or the man or woman, I don't even know.
Yeah.
In any event, horrific, 2 deaths. Kids that probably just came back to campus.
Right.
Oh.
The latest 21 from Deerfield.
Okay, good morning. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J. We talk weather with our meteorologist, Greg Solier. We're at the minus stuff here, buddy, but it looks like maybe some improvement here soon, huh?
Yeah, certainly so around here. I tell you what, you can pick your poison, whether you want to deal with the cold wave weather here, currently at 3 below over at Willard and Savoy right now, versus down south, Brother Johnny's Place over at the New Orleans International Airport, 29 degrees and moderate to heavy snow. Take that.
Wow.
Yep.
No, they don't do anything. This might be completely off everything for a week down there. They just don't have the equipment.
No, and it's not going to melt any time soon because it'll be down in the upper teens and mid-20s by tomorrow morning. Matter of fact, it's snowing as far south as Padre Island for you spring breakers.
That's
Brownsville,
crazy.
Texas, and Matamoros, Mexico this morning. Take that as well.
Man.
Nuts, man. Wow. What was it? Padre Island was a huge destination for spring break.
Baby.
Yeah. I know it's a little early for that down there, but tell you what, that kind of puts things into perspective with readings at 4 below right now and a wind chill at 22 below over at Willard at the current time.
Is it going to snow in Houston? You say? No.
It's still snowing down there. A little mixed rain and some sleet, and they've picked up roughly on grassy areas about an inch, and there may be upwards of 5 or 6 from New Orleans on northward into Louisiana, central and southern Mississippi, and those winter storm warnings extend as far east as Jacksonville and Tallahassee over the next 24 hours.
Well, always interested in your weather biz, bud.
Yeah. So that's the way it is this morning. So use care and caution out and about this morning with the various cold wave weather-related advisories and wind chill warnings up and in effect. And you get up north of the Twin Cities, they're at 17 below, right down 30 below into the Arrowhead of Minnesota. So tough one today. Sunshine, the high at about 4 above with a gusty westerly wind. We'll bottom out tonight near 2 below. Temperatures begin to climb though after midnight tonight. For the day tomorrow, partly sunny, not so cold the afternoon, but a healthy southwest to south breeze, so still calculating wind chills, a high at about 24. Maybe a couple of snow showers or flurries, no accumulation between tomorrow night into Thursday. 20 tomorrow night, 28 on Thursday, and we get better as we head into the weekend after a sun-filled Friday, heading towards the mid-30s on Saturday with maybe a little snow, rain, shower activity there. Nothing to speak of. 37 on Sunday, in the 30s for Monday and Tuesday of next week. So more seasonal temperatures and a quiet weather picture into early next week as well. For For Stephen J. Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
All right, my friend. Weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you the Health and Wellness Center is where it's at right now for the walking track, the pickleball courts, weight and cardio and fitness classrooms, even a meeting room. Find out more at urbanaparks.org.
All right, off and running. Here we go. It's January 21. Really, really cold. Minus something, 4, 3?
I think 2.
All right.
Temperatures going up to 2 below.
Yeah.
Man, talk about energy drinks. What keeps Trump going on Inauguration Day? So many stops for him.
Well, he was back at the White House at 10 before 1 a.m. after going to 3 balls, but it all started at about, 5 a.m. And he's 78 years old. Then it just was completely this. And now, it wouldn't be bad being in these... did my car just freeze over? I just parked it.
What?
Oh. I was saying it's all kinds of ice on my windshield. I just
Right.
had her all nice and toasty warm. Anyway, so he's in the limo with this incredible entourage, and so there's never a light. There's never waiting. You can go zip, zip, zip through Washington.
Sure.
It's a 5 or 10 minute anywhere if you don't have traffic. And they block off all the streets and everything else. So from A to B is pretty cool when you're president of the United States.
Yeah.
But what a long day. What an exciting day. I understand not for quite everybody, but for a lot of America, Trump's at 56% approval. He's never been 56% approval in his life.
Okay.
Not as a, quote, politician. He was way higher back in the day when, he was doing all the shows and everybody loved Trump and everything else, and then he ran for office and half the country turned on him and then couldn't take the fact that he was so transparent and everything, telling all the secrets. Let's go to San Francisco, where they did a countdown and a couple of dozen poor souls were screaming at the frustration of it all.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mental health relief.
I see.
It's in San Francisco, about 20 of them.
Okay.
So, God bless you. So everything, observations. Did not like Melania's hat.
No, you couldn't see her eyes hardly at all.
But she was consistent, even eating lunch.
I know.
I couldn't see her beautiful face. I thought it was a fashion statement. I didn't like it.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Whatever.
I just wondered if there's something more.
Are hats back?
Did she hurt her eye or something?
No, because I saw her at the ball last night.
Okay.
She's fine. I
was thinking she must be covering up something, and this was the only punt effort from her stylist.
Does it sell lids? Are they back? We talked about cologne and perfume being back. Maybe hats are back.
We're seeing a picture now, and even her with her head tilted up, you can't see her eyes.
Donald Trump missed by an inch of getting to her cheek to kiss it because the brim of the hat kept him from it.
Yep.
So the Mirror, the newspaper from Guardian or something from England, he can't even reach her cheek. Everything gets scrutinized.
Yes.
Anyway, so I wasn't crazy about the hat, just FYI.
Okay.
Last night, they both looked great. He was in a tux. She was in a beautiful gown.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to 3 balls, talked a little bit, but mostly came out and did a dance.
Uh-huh.
And it was the Commander's Ball, the Liberty Ball, the Starlight Ball. I think there were 3, maybe one more.
That sounds right. Something with freedom, I think.
Yeah, Liberty, I thought was
okay. Maybe so.
The Commanders were all the military were at the Commanders.
Oh, nice.
So it was pretty cool observing when your person wins. It's you kind of want to be part of that event. But it was indeed a long day, and they were happy they went inside. The wind chill was about 8 or 10 or 12. This morning, the wind chill in D.C. is 6. It's 11 degrees air temperature.
Okay.
So really, really cold, and a lot of the broadcasters still had to go from A to B and get in places and stuff, and they said after about 10 minutes, it got really cold.
And essentially, the Capital One Arena was a viewing area, right?
Yeah, 20,000 people.
Fans.
They probably would have had, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 people in Washington.
Yes.
They showed different bars of the fans going crazy when it was swearing in was done.
Right.
And I think there's just, again, a lot of hope that things are going to get better. Prices are going to come down probably eventually. Take a little time. Once you drill, and all that takes a little time. But just the projections and the speculation is up because even though it's going to take time to go to the ground, dig the oil out and all, but the speculators are already all over it. They think the prices are going to come down. Then if all your trucks and delivery people don't have to pay $7 for a diesel, you're down to $3 or $4 or $5. I think then everything comes down because of competition. Then if I can buy milk for $2.80, I'm going to go do that, and my bacon will come down. The butter won't be $7 for 4 sticks. All those kinds of things. Eventually, that's the direction. If you have your energy figured out, and it sounds like we're really going to be aggressive on getting energy. He calls it liquid gold. The pardons for the Biden family.
Right out of the gate, and even while the motion was going for everybody else, so nobody could really put attention on that.
He released that at 10 before noon.
I see.
The Biden family stuff came out at 10 before noon.
I didn't know the
Donald Trump
timeline.
didn't know until after the speech. And it was, and why would you pardon? Well, let's go back 4 years when Donald Trump was talking about giving preemptive pardons, Joe Biden.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive.
This is 2020 now.
Pardons. Does this concern you?
Well, it concerns me in terms of it, what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons.
How about now?
I mean,
it's just ridiculous. They scream.
That's what Jill said to do, though, Stevie.
That's what?
Jill. She's really look at his voice. Hear it. I mean, that was a lot more spry.
Yeah, back in the day, 4 whole years ago.
Yeah.
No, listen, what it does is that the reason you don't is there's a presumption, well, they must be guilty.
Yeah.
Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, Dr. Fauci. Now, what I think, I got to do some more homework on this, but I believe you can subpoena these people. I believe you can call them in under oath and say what happened. And they can't say, I'm taking the fifth. You can't, when you're pardoned, you have to talk. So if you talk, that's fine, but you got to tell the truth, because if you get caught in a lie, oops, you just perjured yourself. Even after the pardon, you committed a crime.
I see.
So I think you can have some problem there. But I think, again, it's they're saying, well, he was going to go get my family. I mean, that's how it's. But in reality, didn't they all get a lot of money?
Right.
Seems to me they got millions.
Yes.
So
and shouldn't we know the rest of the story?
Well, not if it's the Bidens and the Democrats. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's just this stream of pardons. Now, Donald Trump, I have a clip I want to play for you about the January 6 people.
Yep.
Because there's 1,500. He's adamant about why he did that, and I'm going to play that.
Okay.
All right, we've got a minute for sports.
Well, the college football playoff championship with Notre Dame scoring in the opening drive. I mean, it was back and forth throughout the game. I don't know.
It was 21-7 at half. And Ohio State had a 31-7 lead.
I see.
And Notre Dame came roaring back.
34-23 was the
final. They came roaring back,
Buckeyes.
but they never really threatened. They didn't get the ball with a chance really to tie.
After 18 years,
Yep.
they had the Buckeyes taking the championship trophy home, and a couple of losses, too, makes it kind of unusual in this stage of football.
They lost to Oregon, and they lost to Michigan.
That's right. But we beat Michigan. All right, so go Illini. We've got Maryland coming up on Thursday at 8. We've got some texts coming in for those tickets from Express Employment Professionals.
Well, they're brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you they're always looking to increase their team. If you're interested to improve the health of community members across the region, apply. Carl.org/careers.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity, cold wave weather pattern firmly ensconced here all the way down to the Gulf Coast, where at the leading edge of unsettled weather continues to generate winter storm conditions, would you believe, from the Texas Gulf Coast on eastward over the next couple of days, with cold wave weather to follow in that particular part of the country, too. Heads up on the cold going out the door this morning. We're down below zero. Later on today, a struggle up to about 4 above with sunshine. Bit of a westerly wind tonight, not so cold. Lows near 2 below, but with slowly rising temperatures after midnight. For the day tomorrow, partly sunny, not so cold in the afternoon. Highs up to 24 on an increasing southwest to south wind. Maybe a snow shower late tomorrow night and a couple of spots on Thursday. Lows near 20 tomorrow night, up to 28 on Thursday. Sunshine 25 on Friday into the weekend. Maybe a snow shower Saturday, nothing Sunday. High temperatures will be in the 30s. Seasonal temperatures into early next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
D.R. Horton shares are higher. The home builder just reported upbeat earnings for the recent quarter, even though net sales orders declined. Samsung Electronics is looking into moving some manufacturing of home appliances from plants in Mexico to the U.S. Reports in South Korea, where Samsung is based, say the move's in response to possible 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico to the U.S. 3M's chief executive Bill Brown says that company is watching the impact of proposed Trump tariffs very carefully. Brown says 3M exports much more than it imports. However, roughly half of those imports come from Mexico and Canada, countries that are threatened with steep tariffs as soon as February. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network, the Fox News Rundown, a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news twice a day, going far beyond the headlines, tapping into the massive reporting resources of Fox News to provide a full picture of the news of the day.
I'm Dana Perino.
I'm Brett Baer.
I'm Maria Bartiromo.
I'm Brian Kilmeade, and this is the Fox News Rundown.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, a guy named Sterling was selling his first home. He was nervous, and he reached out to a man named Nate Evans at the Nate Evans Group for help. Well, Sterling says that the team at the Nate Evans Group made the entire experience as painless as possible. We're always there to answer any questions he had and help ease his concern as a first-time home seller. Sterling says that he highly recommends the Nate Evans Group to anybody who's thinking about selling their home.
Well, you need a local expert to guide you, an expert that you can trust, and that's Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. You can get that immediate cash offer on your home. There's flexible fees. Do you want to sell your home for the most money possible? Are you on a certain timeline? Maybe you should start by going to Nate Evans Group, click on that Get Home Value, and get the ball rolling. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113, or just do an online search to Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with the Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Dedicated Diesel, home of the Dixie Chopper, still got Gail Frerich's used Dixie Chopper laying around the yard there? Or?
Yeah, I believe Gail's is still there. It is a great machine, a big classic, and then we have a couple more really good used models I'd like to get rid of before the snow's gone. But now's the time to check out some great deals while your grass is covered up. I know most people aren't thinking about mowing yet, but this is the time that the prices are going to be the lowest.
How can people reach Tim Onstadt?
They can get me at TIMO@GFTLOG.com and call the office at 765-793-7131. Get a hold of Andy. The shop is 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562, or Dedicated Equipment on Facebook.
You're the man. Thank you so much, Tim. Always a pleasure. Thanks,
you. Guys.
You bet.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
All right, so January 6th, 1,500 pardons, commutations. These are people that have been in jail since 2021, and January 6th, 2021.
Okay.
And so these people were, first of all, we know the FBI was involved because 26 inside people. There's video now of them kind of guiding people in and agitating.
I see.
Being kind of part of something.
Oh.
They also had these January 6 people that were never really given a day in court. There's some that have been there 1,400 days without a trial. Wow. So in other words, your loved one got thrown, they threw the key away. Yeah. That's not fair. That's not what we do. That's not justice. Here's the president last night during his press conference while signing executive orders, and somebody asked him about it.
Punishment for the people who assaulted law enforcement officers that day.
Well, I will say this.
So what do you do about police officers that were assaulted, whether that even happened? I think there's question to that. And then this is what his response was.
Yes, they've been in jail for a long time already. I see murderers in this country get 2 years, 1 year, and maybe no time. So they've already been in jail for a long time. These people have been destroyed. What they've done to these people is outrageous. There's rarely been anything like it in history, in the history of our country. And even people that were aggressive, and in many cases, I believe they happen to be outside agitators. But what do I know, right? But I think they were. I think they were outside agitators. There were outside agitators involved, and obviously the FBI was involved because Ray admitted the FBI was involved. Didn't he say 23 people, indirectly or directly, were involved, and it was in 26? That's a lot of people. Now we have, we got to take care of these people have been treated so badly. It's never happened before. What happened in Seattle where they took over a big portion of the city? What happened in Portland where they burn down the city every day and people die? Nothing happened to anybody. But they go after these people violently. I mean, they're still going after brand new people. They found somebody else with a picture. There's never been anything like this. And it's almost 100%. Think of this. Almost 100% of the people are convicted. 100%. It's Washington, D.C. People go into a trial and they say, oh, I have a wonderful lawyer and I didn't do anything wrong. And they end up in shackles almost immediately and jail. No, we're not going to let it happen.
Donald Trump last night about January 6th and the pardons that came down. He signed it, and he said, take this downstairs right now because they can drag their feet on stuff like this, and I want them out. And some got out last night.
Oh, wow.
It was immediate. And so, but do you want to get to the bottom of it? They destroyed evidence. That's a crime. Why do you think the whole January 6th committee was pardoned?
Yes.
Because they destroyed evidence. Mm-hmm. People weren't even allowed to present their evidence. Mm-hmm. Remember they didn't take Jim Jordan on the panel because they didn't want him. They got Liz Cheney because she's a Republican. Wow. So there's a lot there that we don't know that I think for history's purposes we ought to know. Okay, 728, ESPN 93.5. We have a Stever, my friends. It's a new one.
I'm excited about 2 men and a junk truck, a trusted partner with you for junk removal service needs.
All right, so you have something in your garage, because everybody does?
Yeah,
so
we sure do.
What I can do is for one person, I'll send the truck to your house. They'll take $200 of stuff out, which would probably be like a couch and a recliner. A couch and recliner would probably be $200.
Clutter-free space as you do your winter cleaning. So, they're talking about furniture removal, garbage or basement, appliance removal. I just went to the website. It's just an online search away. Old TV removal.
Oh, they do.
Mattress,
wait a minute now.
Hot tub,
they
shed.
Say, Diane. They said TV?
It says TV on
That's
here.
gold.
We specialize in single items, washer, dryer removal, old TV
Wow.
removal. I mean, the list is pretty extensive. Even like tree limb or yard waste or what's sitting around that it's bothering you in 2025.
So what you
Haul
can do,
the junk away.
You can text in junk to 217-359-2255. Text in junk if you know you have a few things.
Right.
So they'll take it from you, and you can say, I'd like this. They'll say that's $400. They say, well, let's do this. That's $220. Okay, I'll pay the $20.
Well,
we'll do $20.
Obviously, $200 from us would be a great relief.
Oh my gosh! No, you're talking about a couple of big items. Get the car in the garage
That's
if you
right.
could just take those things out.
From residential to commercial services. What's sitting around the office?
Oh boy!
I
can
know.
find a few
Stevie's
things. I'm
looking around like, yeah.
And you can get some stuff.
Can we text in ourselves?
Well, maybe you go ahead. If nobody does, go ahead and sneak that in there.
I
So
know.
217-359-2255. That's the Fisher National Bank text line. Text in junk. If you could use this, I'll pay $200 of hauling. What a deal.
Boy, and the reviews are great on how fast and efficient the team at 2 men and a junk truck can be.
Amazing feeling to have some stuff gone. We're going to break. We'll be back. The news is next. John Schweppe live outside Washington, D.C. How was his day yesterday? We'll talk about that next.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. President Trump attends a national prayer service 11 a.m. Eastern at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House.
Many of those executive orders focused on border security, freezing regulations, the environment and energy policy. He also pardoned about 1,500 people who were charged in the January 6th Capitol riot. Trump also revealed his administration's planning to impose 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico.
That would kick in around February 1st. The family of now freed American Ryan Corbett confirms he's on his way back to the United States. Corbett was held for more than 2 years in Afghanistan by the Taliban. He was detained during a business trip in August of 2022. Taliban says Corbett and another U.S. citizen were released in return for Khan Mohammed, who was sentenced to 2 life terms in 2008. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Woman dead after being hit by a car in Rantoul. Police say Christina Sherman walking Thursday night when a car hit her on Liberty Avenue near Chandler Road. She died at the hospital. The driver of the car did remain on scene and is cooperating with the ongoing investigation. Authorities investigating a deadly hit and run in Urbana. They say an SUV slammed into a Honda, stopped at the intersection of University and Kohler Avenues. 5 people in the Honda taken to hospitals, including a 20-year-old woman who died. The driver of the SUV ran off and remains on the loose. People in Muhammad won't be getting a proposed truck stop that would have pumped tax revenue into the community. Application to build the Travel America has been withdrawn, and building one will no longer be considered by the village board. Some residents said the biggest concern is pollution, but not just air pollution and runoff from the station. Over 1,000 signed the petition agreeing that the application for the truck stop's been taken back. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
I don't think it matters if it's -2 or -1 or -4. It's minus.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold.
It's below 0.
It is cold. Weather this morning brought to you by Busey. For over 155 years, member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida and Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Cold wave weather conditions here for the day today. Sunshine. Temperatures on a struggle. Gusty westerly winds. Highs to about 4 above. Pay heed to the various cold-related advisories and warnings that affect over the area. Overnight lows tonight down near 2 below this evening, but with slowly rising temperatures after midnight. Fair skies, southwest to south wind on the increase. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. Not so cold in the afternoon. Southwest to south winds continue on. A high about 24. Maybe a fleeting snow shower in spots late tomorrow night into Thursday. No accumulation. 20 tomorrow night up to 28 on Thursday. Sunshine and 25 for the day on Friday into the weekend. Another passing snow shower flurry chance on Saturday. Nothing Sunday. More clouds and sun, but temperatures return to perhaps even top out above seasonal levels at 36 on Saturday, 37 on Sunday. Quiet weather continuing on into early next week. Monday and Tuesday, some sunshine, highs into the low to mid 30s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
DSC supports people in living a rich and meaningful life. Make a charitable gift to the Tree of Hope campaign through the end of January and give children and adults with developmental disabilities and their families a future filled with independence and choice. DSC is very close to reaching their goal and need your contribution to make a difference. Find out about ways to give, volunteering, and supporting by visiting dsc-illinois.org.
He's the Director of Policy and Government Affairs for American Principles Project and GOP strategist. His name, John Schweppe, somehow from Illinois, and somehow ended up near the swamp. Why, John, did you want to commit your life to a swamp that could possibly, somewhat, at least the formation of, draining a little bit? Tell me what your day was like yesterday, John.
Well, I'll tell you, I came out here to get away from the cold, and it's cold out here, too. So that's no fun. But, no, I'll tell you, yesterday was one of my favorite days I've ever had out here in the Washington area. Seeing the president back at it, energy, boundless energy, just kept going all day. 3-4 live speeches, a live press conference where he went back and forth with journalists, 197 executive orders. I mean, it's great to have America back, and we're ready. We're ready to fight.
I was just mesmerized by him signing these executive orders and answering all of their questions. We haven't seen that since 2020.
Yeah, it's completely refreshing, right? And I'll tell you, the signing of the executive orders at Capital One Arena was just, the optics were just unbelievably cool.
Yeah.
He's a rock star out there. He's signing executive orders, and then he's throwing the pens to the crowd like a T-shirt cannon. And then the guy, he's got a great arm, by the way.
It wasn't bad. He's kind of going underhanded, but these are pretty big pens. I'd love to have one. And then the guy, the attorney, his Harvard guy, was explaining exactly what he's signing, sir, and then his reaction was, "Oh, that's a big one." So just the stuff, and then just a stream of consciousness in the Oval Office. I forget about Ohio State, Notre Dame. I was mesmerized by the president just taking them all while he's signing. It's just like two things at once. And then I got to try and figure out, what does it mean the cartels in Mexico are terrorist groups? That sounds like really, really bad news for them.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's serious about that stuff. He's not messing around. You saw the trade discussion during the press conference. You saw the immigration executive orders. Even the stuff domestically. We certainly were pushing for the anti-DEI, anti-gender ideology executive orders. He came through like never before. I mean, totally across government to say that stuff is out. So really powerful stuff. His team has been working on this for 4 years. And to see it all come to fruition yesterday, it gives you a good sign of what's to come in the next 4 years.
And then apparently he has the call on TikTok. That's quite the power, but they don't settle this in 90 days. TikTok goes away, or America gets $500 billion in value or something, what he was talking about. So I think when you go into a negotiation and you don't care if you don't get the deal, you're a pretty tough negotiator.
That's right. No, it's so funny, too, because you're still seeing some of these media apparatchiks doing the same thing where they're just like, oh, what does he mean by this? And, I think by now the American people certainly have confidence, but, we got to recognize this is how he works. The TikTok thing, I saw some folks freaking out about that. He's trying to make this deal work, right? Instead of killing the app, let's make it American. We'll see what happens, but at this point, you got to trust the guy on these deals. He's shown himself to be so capable of it in the past, and it's going to be exciting what gets done.
Well, I'm telling you, the cartels are terrorists. I mean, remember, ISIS was destroyed very quickly. If they have that designation, these folks in Mexico want to think about maybe a paradigm change or what they want to do, because if you're telling me SEAL Team 6 is going in, you're done.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. How he handles that diplomatically, and does Mexico allow, because we've known this for years, that the cartel has basically captured that government. And so it's going to be really fascinating, but important, right? I mean, we know that the cartel has been killing Americans, shipping drugs and all sorts of horrible stuff for decades now, and so it's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Well, it could be that powerful people in the government are part of the cartels now.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be the implication, and it's going to be really interesting. Right away out of the gate, we're going to be trying to solve this quiet problem we've had with Mexico for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's doing it.
Well, Gulf of America, baby. Okay.
Gulf of America, Greenland, 51st state. I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun.
I didn't know Panama was controlled by the Chinese. Did you?
No, I learned some history on that yesterday. But, this is one of the president's arguments. It's actually really smart. People have been like, why is he focused on Panama and Greenland? It's because he understands geopolitics, and that it's really going to be important to have those shipping lanes and to make sure for national security purposes that we control this hemisphere. And so he's thinking, 2 steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, no, it was a joyful day for me and my family because I have hope that some really good things are going to happen, and I'm believing in the golden age, all those great, exciting things. The fact that we have hope right now, that maybe we're back on track for most Americans is a great feeling, John. How can people connect with you?
I am on Twitter at John Schweppe, and my organization is American Principles Project, and we're at AmericanPrinciplesProject.org.
Hey, keep up the good work. Nice having you on, and let's go America. Let's go.
Can't wait. Talk to you soon.
John Schweppe out in Washington, D.C., actually in Virginia this morning, ESPN 93.5. All right, so again, the Biden family gets a full pardon at 10 before 12 noon when Donald Trump is being sworn in at 12:01 Eastern Standard Time, so nobody knew about it. Here's what Joe Biden had to say about pardoning your family. This is 4 years ago.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons.
Okay, so the reason, and Donald Trump was asked about it last night. I said, what about you pardoning your family in 4 years? He said, well, I could do it. The precedent's been set. He said, but it implies you're guilty.
Yeah.
When you have to get a pardon, it implies that you did something wrong.
It's true.
So how many people on that list you're going, okay, so all the stuff the Republicans are saying is true? Do you think they're really guilty? And so, again, what does it mean? I got to figure out if there's a way to get them to at least answer questions after the fact, knowing that you can't put them in jail unless they lie. So you would have to put the feet to the fire and say, okay, now tell me what happened. And if you don't tell the truth, we're probably going to find out. And then you go to jail. Wait a minute. No, you didn't get pardoned for the new lie. So that was the old lie. Anyway, unbelievable. Here's the president last night during that 1 hour spontaneous press conference on TikTok. Here's what he had to say.
TikTok is worthless. Worthless if I don't approve it. It has to close. I learned that from the people that own it. If I don't do the deal, it's worthless, worth nothing. If I do the deal, it's worth maybe $1 trillion.
I don't know how you value something like that. I don't know. Trillion sounds like an awful lot.
Yeah.
But if you have 170 million users, there's a lot of advertising going on. And a lot of people making a living on TikTok.
That's for sure.
I saw one guy lamenting, and then he was joyful because it came back. It was dark for, a few hours?
Right.
Rosie O'Donnell was on there going, what happened to TikTok? It's back? It's really back? Well, did Biden do something? She didn't know Trump did something. So that's probably not going to go well.
Okay, Rosie.
Okay, then traditionally, the outgoing president leaves a letter for the incoming president, kind of a band of, at this point, brothers, because we haven't had a sister yet.
In the Oval Office, in that top drawer.
So Peter Doocy, Fox News, said, Mr. President, did he leave you a letter? And the president said, I don't know. Well, don't they do it in the top? And he pulled it out live spontaneously.
Oh. What's in there? Thank you, Peter. It could have been years before we found it. Wow. Thank you.
What does it say on the outside?
Maybe we should all read it together. Well, maybe I'll read it first.
Yeah, good idea.
Right.
But yeah, sealed letter, and he saw all the cameras were rolling. The first time he saw the letter,
I saw that myself. I just couldn't believe that spontaneous while he's signing executive orders.
It's just
taking questions. Rick had texted in 217-359-2255. Steve, Donald Trump answered more questions from that press conference yesterday than Joe Biden did in 4 years.
Well, the difference is Joe Biden didn't know what to say. When somebody else is kind of telling you the agenda, it'd be horrible.
Which is the next sentence from Rick. Just a feel of a leader that knows what's going on and projects leadership is a much better look.
The fact that he named the cartels terrorist groups, I don't think we understand that implication. We're talking about people across the border that are everywhere, and we know them. We have the intelligence. We have the capability. Now, if you want to stop your trafficking, if you want to stop all the fentanyl, if you want to stop charging these poor souls all this money to bring them across, okay, maybe you live. If you don't, you don't live.
So naming the cartel ATO might legitimize a lot of asylum seekers, though?
Terrorist organizations. Now, the reason... Listen, I want all the immigrants in the world to come if they're legal. You just have to go through the process.
And just think of all the people who have been, going through the process,
years,
doing things
waiting
correctly.
Years.
And now we have this surge of not doing the proper path.
And nobody has a number. I'm hearing 10 million, 20 million. Now the Tom Homan-led ICE went into these cities because the federal government has jurisdiction over criminal aliens that have been convicted. That's the ones they're targeting now. But he says, hey, if we run into you and you're illegal, you broke the law. So there's going to be ramifications, and I think there's a lot of fear out there. But you came across illegally. For the last 4 years, we allowed this to happen. And the most dangerous aspect of it is there are thousands of really, really bad people here now that are career criminals. And now we got to go find them, and then we got to put them through our legal process and all these other things. People are dying. We see that every day.
Well, and the U.S. birthright, and what does Trump do about that when it comes to citizenship in America?
It's going to go to
It's going
to go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court's going to decide that, whether he can do that. They're going to challenge it. And there's already lawsuits this morning on that.
Right.
All right, we're going to jump to a morning sports, quick sports, before we call Dr. Todd Likens, pet pro or veterinarian, ESPN 93.5. Diane?
The top 5 in the Associated Press college basketball poll. Auburn 1, Duke 2, Iowa State 3, Alabama 4, Florida 5. Michigan State has jumped to 8.
Yep.
Marquette at 10, Purdue at 11, Wisconsin 18. Michigan dropped to 21. And, with our win over Indiana and our loss to Michigan State, but still these high-quality teams at 13 and 5, we're at 17 on the season.
And again, Brad says, don't care about the rankings. I care about net and Ken Palm, which is what the NCAA uses for seedings in the NCAA tournament.
Penn State over Rutgers 80-72. Ohio State at Purdue tonight at 6:30. Minnesota's at Iowa at 8. At number 18, Wisconsin at UCLA, and Washington's at number 15, Oregon. Chicago Bears with Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Your feeling on that, Stevie?
I think the feeling is I think this is it. I think it's the best hire they could have made.
Chicago Bears.
And I think the Bears spent more money than they ever have by a ton.
Coming under Campbell, under the Detroit Lions, we have the offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, who's only 38.
Yeah, young. He was the hot name. And apparently he's already hired Dennis Allen, the former head coach of New Orleans, former defensive coordinator when the Saints won the Super Bowl, I think. No, I don't think he was there that long. He was a former head coach of the Raiders, former head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and an excellent defensive coordinator.
Okay.
So the Bears have him. Ooh. And then Rizzo was his name, who was the interim head coach of the Saints. I think he's coming for special teams to Chicago.
I see.
So they're putting together a really experienced coaching staff. Could it be? Is it possible that the McCaskies have made a good hire?
No, there's got to be something in there that's going to mix it up.
Come on, it's cruel. Why are you doing this to us?
College football playoff championship. Ohio State beats Notre Dame 34-23.
I mean, we carry the Bears now, man.
I know we do.
Signed
Over on
I signed a multi-year deal.
Yes! Let's do this.
Wouldn't that be something if the Chicago Bears made the
Can
playoffs
work with
or something?
Caleb. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's offensive. He made all the calls in offense for the Lions, who had a great year.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Kurt Lenschow. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. Kurt and State Farm are there.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign, Urbana, and Vicinity. Cold wave weather pattern firmly ensconced here all the way down to the Gulf Coast, where at the leading edge of unsettled weather continues to generate winter storm conditions, would you believe, from the Texas Gulf Coast on eastward over the next couple of days, with cold wave weather to follow in that particular part of the country, too. Heads up on the cold going out the door this morning. We're down below zero. Later on today, a struggle up to about 4 above with sunshine. Bit of a westerly wind tonight. Not so cold, lows near 2 below, but with slowly rising temperatures after midnight. For the day tomorrow, partly sunny, not so cold in the afternoon, highs up to 24 on an increasing southwest to south wind. Maybe a snow shower late tomorrow night in a couple of spots on Thursday, lows near 20 tomorrow night, up to 28 on Thursday, sunshine 25 on Friday into the weekend, maybe a snow shower Saturday, nothing Sunday, high temperatures will be in the 30s, seasonal temperatures into early next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgay.
Nate Evans Group, EXP Realty. So you got an office right across from the fire station in downtown Mahomet.
Yep.
And that Nate Evans Group has some great energy when you walk in that building, because you guys are moving and shaking. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think that was the culture we were looking for. We wanted to be a younger demographic of vibrant agents and brokers. We wanted to make sure that we brought that energy on our listing consults and things like that. It's not fun to go to work in a stale environment, and we want to create the idea that we can still have fun, have a real edgy feel to our marketing with a still professional approach with something that's taken so serious.
239-7113 is the number for Nate Evans, or you can go online to nateevansgroup.com. I know that if I want to sell my home, Nate Evans is the man.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the nateevansgroup.com.
Well, on Tuesdays, I call veterinarian Todd Likens Pet Pro. He has a herd of English creams, a.k.a. golden retrievers, and they go outside, they do their business, and they say, Daddy, let me in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's been one of those mornings already.
Well,
I'm out.
You're out doing what?
I'm out doing cleaning up the doggy do type stuff off the patio. It's a multi-step process. First, you got to take a scraper and break it free, and then you go back and pick them up. So, and of course, they want to help.
The glamorous life of dog ownership.
It's special, isn't it?
Well, our little babies, the late pounders, 2 dogs go out and they're sniffing around for approximately 60 seconds trying to get a grip because they slide on the little snow ice. Dogs need grip. That's why they like carpet.
Right.
You got to hold on, man. Anyway, they're back in quickly. It's too cold for the doggies right now, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is. It's just business and right back in type thing. So very, very short period. So, but cabin fever is rampant in our house. It is the big word today, because we use a laser pointer and we used to say find it, but now we have to limit the use of the word it in the house in any sentence, because all of a sudden all these dogs will go ballistic looking around for a little laser beam.
Oh boy!
So that's how we exercise them in this weather.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow, today's high is supposed to be 6. Tomorrow's high 26. That's way better, right? Way better.
Way better. Yep, I agree.
Yeah. And your doggies have nice big fur, but again, at some point, it's just minus is always too cold, isn't it?
Right, and they're acclimated to warmer weather too. I mean, some of the breeds can handle this that are used to it and have the thicker coats. But still, I'm not the type. I don't take chances. I'd better be safe than sorry. 24 hours, big deal.
Do you when you wash dogs these days, do you make sure they're bone dry when they're done?
Oh, absolutely. They're dry all the time. So, they have to be dry on a day like this, because their coat won't work if it's wet.
we talk about the leaving of the dog in a hot car. Is there the opposite to that in this extreme weather? I doubt that people are going grocery shopping with a car, and a dog in a car.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on the dog a little bit, but I mean, being in a car is shelter. It's better than being out in the wind and the elements. I mean, their body heat will raise the car if they hunker down. I would think they'd be safer. So I tell you, all I have to do is leave my dogs in the car for a couple minutes to go in, and I come back out to frosty windows in this type of
it's really cold fast. So, all right, Dr. Todd, how can people connect with you and or Taylor?
Yeah, well, Taylor's in Brazil at the moment, so I don't think we can get her today. Yeah, she's down there on some sort of they're not on the Amazon, but they're on another river doing some fishing type stuff. And
really?
It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so good story, it sounds like. But anyway, that makes us really slow, but still text us 217-355-5051.
All right, Todd, appreciate the info. Thanks so much. Stay warm. Thank you. Dr. Todd Likens, Pet Pro.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ESPN 93.5, Stever today from Shunk Junk. It's 2 men in a truck and the junk truck that they have.
2 men and a junk truck. It's a quick search away, and we were looking at the list earlier when we made this offer. If you've got some junk sitting around, you want to clean out an area of your basement, your home, your commercial business, your garage.
Yeah.
All you need to do is get this no-obligation appointment for a quote and get the process started and start to get rid of some of that stuff that's been sitting around.
And I'm giving $200, and I'm understanding that's a big couch and a recliner. Just to give you an idea, that's quite a bit. That'd clear up a lot of room.
Old furniture, appliances, random junk you just don't need anymore.
Well, and a television.
That's right.
If you got a big old TV that's 400 pounds, I mean, they'll probably take that and dispose of it properly and recycle and do all the things you're supposed to do. Then you don't. Good luck getting rid of a television.
Yeah, they even have piano and refrigerator, hot tub, old TV. You can just click on these things and find out more about what 2 men in a junk truck can do for you.
So if you're interested, you simply text in junk to 217-359-2255. That's the Fisher National Bank text line. Text junk if you want to be considered for this offer. And all it is $200 to get rid of stuff. And you can have them come and say, well, I didn't know that cost more than $200. You can back off and say, well, do that and that.
Right.
And or you say, all right, maybe it's $450. I'll pay $250 and get a $450.
We're picking up the tab here at Stevie J Broadcasting on half of that.
Yeah, no, it's
and really making some things go away. It makes you feel so much better when you have an uncluttered space.
And then you don't have to go rent the truck and all these other things.
And haul it away. And it's not necessarily a landfill kind of thing. It talks in the reviews here about how the crew can repurpose things for you.
Nice.
And really make an effort to help you through this stage of trying to get things together.
I'm telling you, it's a good deal, and I'm paying. So if you're interested, text junk, brand new one. This is the first time we've ever done it. 2 men and a junk truck. And I'm paying for $200 of your stuff to leave.
And have a professional team who's been professionally trained, background checked, drug screened. I mean, and the rave reviews that I'm reading about fast and efficient, even same-day removal. If you're saying 2025 is my year, let's get started.
All right, 217-359-2255. Text in junk if you want to be considered for this $200 gift. All right, January 21, break for the news, come back. Whole bunch here. I've got stuff from the inauguration yesterday, some observations, all that next.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
In 1925, a small plumbing company began its journey in Urbana, Illinois. Over the decades, the business grew thanks to hard work and great people. In 1966, things changed when Dave Reichard, a veteran, met veteran Ken Asklin, who was an architectural engineering grad from Illinois. The two realized their shared vision for excellence. Their partnership took root, and in 1975, the name changed to A&R Mechanical. With Dave as president and Ken as vice president, A&R Mechanical expanded services, becoming the go-to full-service contractor for all of Central Illinois. A&R went from a plumbing-only contractor to a full-service mechanical contractor with their own sheet metal shop. Today, A&R is a plumbing, heating, ventilation service company with the same excellence in customer service as they provided nearly 100 years ago. Design, build, and maintain. That's what served A&R Mechanical for nearly 100 years. Find them at Lincoln and Kettering in Urbana or online at ar-mech.com.
Hi, this is Troy Lands from Lands Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. With colder temperatures here, let's make sure your heating system is operating at its best. At Lands, you can join our comfort family and get exclusive savings and support to keep your heating system in tip-top shape this winter and all year round. Our plans offer tune-ups, discounts on repair, and even lifetime system enhancements. Plus, we back up our equipment with labor warranty when we install it. Find out more about our comfort family maintenance plans at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Day one lawsuits. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump signed dozens of executive orders and actions after taking office again yesterday, including pardons for everyone charged with Capitol riot crimes and several related to border security and immigration.
Hours after President Trump signed an executive order aimed at ending birthright citizenship for children born in the U.S. to parents who are not in the country legally, the American Civil Liberties Union filed a lawsuit challenging it. The suit was filed in New Hampshire on behalf of a couple who arrived in the U.S. in 2023 and are awaiting a decision on their asylum claim and expecting a child soon. The president's order contradicts the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, which states, quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdictions thereof are citizens of the United States. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
The president's schedule for his first full day back in office includes national prayer service this morning at Washington National Cathedral, and his cabinet's coming together.
Marco Rubio is the first cabinet secretary to be approved, and he breezed through with the Senate voting unanimously to confirm him as Secretary of State. Several of Trump's nominees were also voted out of their respective committees. The Senate Intelligence Committee voted 14-3 to approve John Ratcliffe as CIA Director, and Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth also moved forward. The Senate Homeland Security Committee advanced the nominations of Kristi Noem and Russell Vought, Trump's choices to head the Department of Homeland Security and Office of Management and Budget.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. 2 Americans are released from custody in Afghanistan in exchange for an Afghan serving a life sentence in California on drug trafficking and terrorism charges. At least 66 people have been killed in a fire at a ski resort hotel in Turkey. At least 6 Palestinians are reported to have been killed, with 35 wounded in a large Israeli military operation in the West Bank city of Jenin. America's listening to Fox News.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Much of the South is going to seem like the North, weather-wise.
Dangerous cold air has overtaken much of the country, including the South, as a rare winter storm brings heavy snow and ice along the Gulf Coast and Southeast. There will be major impacts to travel and the risk of power outages as the Arctic air mass stays in place over the next few days.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. A Georgia fire chief is shot and killed.
Fellow firefighters in Georgia are mourning the death of 54-year-old Fire Battalion Chief Bart Coffin of Coweta County, who was shot and killed while trying to help a driver who had hit a deer. Deputies in Chambers County, Alabama say a man identified as William Randall Franklin opened fire on Cawthon and the unidentified driver, with the driver shooting back. The 24-year fire veteran died before deputies were able to reach the scene. The other 2 men were airlifted to hospitals. Deputies plan to charge Franklin with murder when he's released. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Ohio State football fans are celebrating.
The Buckeyes are champions of the college football world, defeating Notre Dame 34-23 in the national title game and becoming the first winner of the 12-team playoff.
It's Ohio State together at the mountaintop, champions of college football.
That was courtesy of ESPN. Notre Dame grabbed the early lead thanks to an 18-play, nearly 10-minute drive on the first possession of the night, but the Buckeyes responded with 31 unanswered points. Quarterback Will Howard completed his first 13 passes, setting the record for consecutive completions in a college football playoff title game. It's the first championship for the Ohio State football program since 2014.
Fox's Joe Morgan. Elon Musk responds to speculation that his right arm in the air, palm down gesture during the Trump inauguration was meant as a Nazi salute. He posts on X, the "Everyone is Hitler" attack is so tired. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Authorities investigating a deadly hit-and-run in Urbana. Police say an SUV slammed into a Honda Civic stopped at the intersection of University and Kohler Avenues. 5 people in the Honda taken to hospitals, including a 20-year-old woman who died. The driver of that SUV ran off, remains on the loose. Anyone with information on this case, you're asked to contact local police. U.S. Department of Justice reaching an agreement with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office to resolve an investigation that was launched after the deadly shooting of Sonia Massey. DOJ looked into allegations of discriminatory practices by police and dispatching services. The department didn't find any evidence of discrimination, but worked with the county to develop measures that address concerns and improve community relations. A person wounded following a shooting in Arcola. Police say a man found shot Friday in the 200 block of South Pine Street. He was taken to the area hospital where his condition is not known. And that's a check of your news this morning. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, we had somebody say, why didn't Donald Trump put his hand on the Bible? And here is my take. They had J.D. Vance and his 3 young children and his wife, Usha. She was holding a very small Bible. He had his left hand on it, right hand in the air. And Brett Kavanaugh was the guy that administered that because Usha Vance clerked for him, and they were friends. And so they requested Brett Kavanaugh to do that for J.D. Vance as vice president. Then I thought John Roberts was a little disheveled.
Yeah, it seemed like he was too far away.
No, he was too much in a hurry.
I see.
He had you had Melania Trump were a couple of seats away, Solier, and then the whole family was sitting essentially in the front row, but the family usually gathers around. Instead of John Roberts, the Chief Justice, saying, "Okay, President Trump, if you're just about ready." And let the family get around, because he was saying the oath as the family was coming.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
But they were still trying to get the Vance family, I think, the little kids out and out of the way there.
Yeah, they had the little kids in there, and they had folks escort them out. But to me, it was like, hey, we're not ready yet.
Right.
Melania then had 2 Bibles because he was sworn in with 2 Bibles. His left hand was on 2 Bibles in 2017. And I just think they got off and running, and she's standing there next to him and didn't nudge him or anything, and he just was focusing on the words.
Right.
Now, the Constitution says you must raise your right hand. It does not say you must put it on a Bible.
I see.
There's no constitutional absolute for that.
Okay.
Now, the first time around, John Roberts messed up a couple of words, and they redid it inside.
Yes.
And so, I don't know. John, what's up, man? I mean, and he also read it. Last time he didn't read it. He just kind of said it, and maybe because he messed up, then they redid it. Maybe he did bring the text. Brett Kavanaugh was reading it, because you don't want to mess that up.
No.
It's not very long, but there's a lot of eyeballs on you.
You want to nail that.
You want to make sure you get that one right. But that's kind of behind that. I thought the thing was ill-timed. Too many people to surround their dad, and it just took a minute. And by the time they were settled, he was halfway through.
Yeah.
So it was just John Roberts going too fast.
Right.
I thought maybe just give him 30 seconds to get the kids out of the way, and then go and get the Trump family
Get the Trump
and then go from
family,
there.
get the Bible situated.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a fast one, and
it was very much hurried. I don't know. Did you have to hit the time exactly correctly?
I know. And see, there was a few misses with it being indoors. Obviously, they had a different look on everything, and they're in the rotunda. But even Carrie Underwood not having the backtrack to sing to and doing things a cappella instead. After a minute, you heard a little second of "God Bless America" in the instrumental, and then kind of an awkward pause.
Having been on stage thousands of times, she was quite comfortable ad-libbing and starting it on the right key as well. But
I thought maybe the military band would have been able to,
Right, and you have the choir there. Of course, she's going to have the backup.
So, could I have filled a room with bigger people to mess up a track? Oh my! And us being in this kind of business, we've all done that.
Exactly.
You got to make sure play works, and you test all of that. And the guy with the headset came up to Carrie Underwood and apparently said a cappella.
Yeah.
And so she said, if you know the words, help me out. And she sang.
That's right.
And I thought it was fantastic. I mean, it was really short. I don't know if she had 2 verses planned or it was always going to be 1 verse, but she's obviously great with her voice. And I enjoyed the tenor too, the opera singer.
He was in for a couple of pieces.
Pieces, and he from New Jersey. He's a Jersey guy. So no, that was good, and I thought the whole thing was. It's really amazing to see everybody together, and apparently there was a lip reader for Barack Obama when he walked in. No Michelle, but he walked in, and a lip reader said, "Thank you, thank you." And then he leaned over to the bush and said, "How can we stop what's about to happen?" And, of course, they started laughing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought they were buddies since the Carter funeral. I thought Barack and Donald. But that's what the lip reader said. It's hard for me to tell. But if you don't cover your mouth like all the pro players do, they can read what they have people that can do that.
You just never know where there's a hot mic at.
No, I know, or hot lips.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how can we stop what's about to happen? And, of course, the Bushes are really good friends with the Clintons and Obamas, and that's fine. But it was, and George has always kind of been that raised eyebrows, kind of funny expression looking, probably pretty fun dude, but both of them kind of smiled and laughed. So,
but thanks for connecting with us, Luke, at 359-2255. There were 2 Bibles. One was President Abraham Lincoln's, used in the oath of 1861, and then Trump's personal Bible.
I think, too, once it starts, you're so laser beamed on the words because you don't want to mess that up.
You don't want to mess that up at all.
And you're wondering how many words do I have to repeat? Don't go too far kind of thing.
That's right.
All right, Greg, what are you doing with your weather here, my friend?
Well, my friend, it is a cold morning. I tell you, it is a tough one out there for man and beast, with temperatures down below zero, double-digit values below zero as well. And the wind chill chart at 4 below at Willett and Savoy, temperature-wise, 6 below at Rantoul, 4 below at Danville, 10 below as you get up towards Peoria this morning, outside north and western suburbs of Chicago, 10 to 15 below by the time we venture out towards Rockford, and some of those areas up towards the Arrowhead of Minnesota at 30 below this morning. Meanwhile, an inch of snow on the ground, Corpus Christi, Galveston, Houston, and that snow area continues its expansion east across the next round of snow, making a run towards Lafayette and New Orleans at the current time, and winter storm warnings as far east as northern Florida, i.e. Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and just north of Orlando at Ocala. Back this way, sun-filled, cold, gusty west wind, sub-zero wind chills all day long, pay heed to those cold weather-related advisories. The high to about 4 above. Not so bitter tonight, about 2 below, but temperatures begin to climb after midnight. For the day tomorrow, partly sunny, up to about 24. We're in the upper 20s with maybe a snow shower Thursday. Pretty quiet weather pattern right through early next week. Sunshine 25 on Friday. We're back into the 30s for highs Saturday and Sunday. Maybe a couple of rain, snow showers Saturday. Then dry weather takes us into early next week with daytime temperatures seasonal in the lower 30s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. 8:13, ESPN 93.5. Just some sports headlines coming up. Illinois and Maryland, 8 o'clock Thursday night. It's Tuesday, so if you want to win tickets, it's 7 more home games, and that's it. After this weekend, it's 5 home games. And that's it for Kasparis Yaka-Jonas at Illinois.
That's right.
Man.
January 23rd, that's Thursday, 8 o'clock for the tip-off against Maryland. And if you're thinking it is cold outside, Pia's has that fan bus to get you to the game.
Be very handy. It's kind of cold and not have to park and walk.
Absolutely.
Also, you might want to say, hey, I'm interested in Northwestern because I'll have those available Friday. We'll have one day to give those away.
You're right.
I think that's a Sunday afternoon game, isn't it?
It's at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Sunday the 28th.
That's, 26th. Illinois and Northwestern, we owe them.
Right.
That's a big payback.
Okay.
They beat us up there overtime. And that was actually with Kasparis. So we've lost 5 games, 2 of the losses without the point guard that is so good. So we'll see. But again, just text in Illini.
We also have Michigan State tickets, and that February 15th game on Saturday will be the one at 7 o'clock where Terrence Shannon Jr.'s jersey will be honored. So and he's coming into town.
Great to see him back. I think he's still wrestling with the G League. He's not playing much in Minnesota.
I see.
Still got his $4 or $5 million or whatever it was.
Okay.
So that's good news for Terrence Shannon Jr., but when he's being sent to the G League, he's scoring like 44 points. I mean, he's dominating. But they just can't get him in the rotation, I guess, to this point. There'll be opportunities, and I believe he's going to be ready because he's one of the older guys. I mean, how many people under 20 are drafted at the top of the NBA? Like everybody. France has been on a roll with 18 and 19-year-old 7'4" guys. I mean, it's crazy. What are they doing in France? All right, so again, if you want free Illinois basketball tickets, Illini is what you text us. Check your sports headlines.
Well, and the Chicago Bulls beat the LA Clippers 112-99 yesterday, since we're kind of talking about Terrence and some of his professional side. But we do have Ohio State and Purdue tonight. Minnesota's at Iowa. Number 18, Wisconsin at UCLA. And Washington's at number 15, Oregon. We're just mentioning our Illini, who are ranked 17 now, taking on Maryland on Thursday at 8 o'clock.
By the way,
FS1.
There was a way too early top 25 football ranking that came out after the national championship game where Ohio State beat Notre Dame.
Yes.
Illinois, in the way too early top 25, Illinois football was 13.
Really?
We beat South Carolina. South Carolina's ranked 10. They're ahead of us, and we beat them. But in any event, you know what that means? It means that maybe we can think about the top 12. If we're ranked 13 in the way too early top 25, and it is way too early, we got 18 of our 22 starters coming back off a team that beat an SEC powerhouse like South Carolina. Maybe not a powerhouse, but awfully good. Anyway, but that's great news.
I saw a clip of Coach Brett Bielema with his girls at the game on Sunday when the Illini women fell to Michigan State, but around 6,000 people coming to the Illini women's basketball game on Saturday afternoon.
Pretty good crowd.
Which was pretty good crowd. Yeah. They had a cheerleading theme and a clinic and things like that too, but I bet his girls probably went to that.
They're probably fired up about cheerleading like that, huh?
Go Illini. Speaking of football coaches, Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, is 38. He's the new coach for the Bears.
He's been the hot name. Nobody thought the Bears would get him or he would come to the Bears, and lo and behold, he did. How about that?
So, college football playoff championship, as you mentioned, even though Notre Dame scored on the opening drive, Ohio State came out on top. Notre Dame was making a push there towards the end, but 34-23 with the Buckeyes winning after 18 years of not getting that championship trophy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. Parkland's men and women's basketball team beating Lewis and Clark yesterday. Go Cobras.
Djokovic beats young 21-year-old Alcaraz. Number 7 beats a 3 in the quarterfinals of the Australian Tennis Open. Djokovic is going for his 25th major. Sheesh. That's a lot. All right. Fox Business here coming up, 217-359-2255. If you want to text in anything about the inauguration or what you saw yesterday and the way forward, it's going to be a lot happening here, particularly early, because what was it, 197 executive orders were signed yesterday? That's a lot of signatures. His signature is certainly definitive. It's a magic marker, bold. I don't know where Donald Trump comes out of all that, but it's He was signing away while answering 1 hour of media questions. That's unbelievable, and it was just mesmerizing to hear a stream of consciousness. And to have a president say, here's what I believe and why, it just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're always careful with their words, and what do you mean by that? Trump just says it. He just says, here's what I mean. They're a terrorist organization. The cartels are bad. They're killing 300,000 Americans a year, and we have to do this. And that's bad news for the cartels. They're a pretty powerful bunch, but not as powerful as the United States military. I know that. Weather this morning brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. You want to get some deals for your office and save on some color printing, might call Watts Copy Systems. Get a free evaluation. Call them at 217-352-0428 for Watts Copy Systems. We'll check your Fox Business in a minute.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida and Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Cold wave weather conditions here for the day today. Sunshine. Temperatures on a struggle. Gusty westerly winds. Highs to about 4 above. Pay heed to the various cold-related advisories and warnings that affect over the area. Overnight lows tonight down near 2 below this evening, but with slowly rising temperatures after midnight. Fair skies, southwest to south wind on the increase. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. Not so cold in the afternoon. Southwest to south winds continue on. A high about 24. Maybe a fleeting snow shower in spots late tomorrow night into Thursday. No accumulation. 20 tomorrow night up to 28 on Thursday. Sunshine and 25 for the day on Friday. Into the weekend, another passing snow shower flurry chance on Saturday. Nothing Sunday. More clouds and sun, but temperatures return to perhaps even top out above seasonal levels at 36 on Saturday, 37 on Sunday. Quiet weather continuing on into early next week. Monday and Tuesday, some sunshine. Highs into the low to mid 30s.
Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
D.R. Horton shares are up more than 3%. The home builder's quarter topped expectations for the recent quarter despite higher mortgage rates. Charles Schwab is rallying. The stock's up more than 4% after an upbeat quarter. However, Apple shares are losing ground after less optimistic comments about Apple from analysts at Jefferies, who cite softer iPhone sales in China and weaker AI expectations. Constellation Brands, the maker of Modelo, Corona, and Pacifico beers, is expected to be among the beverage companies most impacted by President Trump's proposed tariffs. The president says he plans a 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico starting February 1st. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
It is time to take the quiz.
5 days a week, it's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We ask people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
Including the pre-Super Bowl era, what NFL franchise has won the most NFL championships?
I'm going to say the Cowboys.
Good guess. I would say the Packers.
How'd you do? Exactly. These get tougher, so hang on.
Take the quiz every weekday at thequiz.fox. Thank you for taking the quiz.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Fisher National Bank, they're always involved in the community and different experiences. And if you're looking for a free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank, that gives you access to their Reward Saver, which earns you an exceptional annual percentage yield and can really increase your earnings potential here in 2025. With no monthly service fees or minimum balance required, when you're ready to make the most of your money, you can switch to Rewards Checking and Rewards Saver from Fisher National. See all the monthly requirements at any branch or visit FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC. You know ABC Heating and Air Conditioning is locally owned and operated for over 50 years. And you know they help you with your HVAC issues any time of the day or night. But did you know now through March 31st, you can save up to $500 off a complete Amana heating and air system? That's right. ABC Heating and Air Conditioning is offering a special until the end of March where you can save up to $500 off off a complete Amana system. Call Gina at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning for complete details or visit abcheatingandac.com.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
All right, they're swearing in Marco Rubio, who got his first. He was the first guy to get a vote and got 99 out of 100. I don't know what happened with the 100th vote, but Marco is in and just sworn in as the new Secretary of State. That's the biggest cabinet position.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually third in line to the presidency.
That's right.
It goes President, Vice President, and Secretary of State. I'm sorry, Speaker of the House is third. My fault. I think he's.
I thought it was Secretary.
It's the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Yes.
And then I think from there it might go to the Secretary of State. He's the first cabinet guy that'd be president. And they always have like one cabinet person has to stand down during the State of the Union for security.
Yep.
Anyway, Marco Rubio's in, and I think Pete Hegseth his name is put forward. I think you have 30 hours of potential debate after it's been presented to the whole Senate. And so they can drag their feet a little bit. It might take a while to get everybody in, a month for everybody, because you still got a lot of hearings. Kash Patel, who they want to lead the FBI, and he has said things in his book that people are going to enemies list, all these other things. And then, of course, Robert Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, those folks will be up there. There'll be a lot of eyeballs on Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, and Robert Kennedy Jr. We'll see what happens. Okay, 825. I have a Stever that's a unique and a different one today. It's with two men and a junk truck. And essentially, I'm sending a truck to your house to pick up that unwanted old couch or television or refrigerator or whatever you don't want to get a bunch of people together and rent a truck. They'll haul it for you, and I'm going to pay $200 toward that effort. And my understanding is a nice big couch and a recliner would probably cost $200.
In fact, there's a list of some of the items you want two men and a junk truck to take care of that's unwanted and sitting around your home, or even commercial businesses. Appliance removal, TV removal, exercise equipment, carpet removal, household furniture, as you mentioned, office furniture, old tires, pool tables, shed, trash, hot tub, refrigerator, piano, yard waste, debris, tree and limb, trash. I mean, the list is extensive.
Well, 100% of those listening have stuff like that.
I know.
That's really broad. I didn't know they would do like tree stumps and stuff laying around.
Two men and a junk truck have been trained on how to handle these big items.
Yeah.
And that's a thing, too, is I know that I think that I can move a piano like I could maybe back in the day, but these are professionally trained movers, background checked, and they are ready to help you as far as being clutter-free in 2025.
So if you're interested, you can text in junk to 217-359-2255. You can also go to ghoststever.com. It's up there. And so we say, well, I don't know what that's going to cost. We'll let you get an estimate before you commit to it. So they can come over and talk to you about what you've got. And I'll throw $200 your way if you want me to help you haul something that'll free up one side of the garage or something.
And super easy here on the website at 2 Men and a Junk Truck to get an estimate on some things that you might at your home. And there's no obligation as you just fill that out.
There you go. It's a Stever, and I'm paying. So just text in junk or go to ghoststever.com, get involved, and maybe you'll win. All right, 827. We're going to break for the news. Another segment to go. The boys on this afternoon. It'll be Lonte is off this week, but it'll be Derek Piper and Kyle Toss.
Yeah.
University of Illinois back in class today.
Yes.
So they're back. And I during the break, I go through campus and all the blinking lights and stuff, and it's pretty quick to go down 4th Street. Not anymore.
That's right.
So now us townies kind of know the schedule.
But e-learning, I think, for Champaign and Urbana today because of these cold conditions that we're having.
Yeah. Okay. And how's that going? E-learning?
I don't know. But your brother Johnny, I'm telling you, he's got some weather to deal with down south.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I think they're getting a few inches of snow.
And they shut it down, folks. They have no idea how to handle it. They don't have plows, trucks, salt. They don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to go to Orlando and find it either, right? I mean, they just generally don't have equipment like we have. So an inch or two, we don't blink until it's like a dozen inches. So we're, oh boy, it might not be. But otherwise, this is foreign to them. They don't know how to drive on it either. These are people that have never driven on anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they shut it down. New Orleans is pretty shut down today. So is Houston. Houston takes 45 minutes to go to lunch somewhere because it's such a big, expansive setup. How big that geographically the city of Houston is.
Yeah, it's crazy to see this band of winter weather over our southern United States. I just checked ours and we're at 6 below.
Yeah,
I think it's dropped.
Might have. But we're supposed to only get to 6 above.
Mm-hmm.
So if your car's in the sun, that'll feel somewhat better. Otherwise, warming it up isn't a bad idea.
That's right.
All right, news coming up.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. President Trump's historic first day. New White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posting 42 executive orders, 115 personnel actions, more than 200 executive actions, including this on the Mexican cartels.
Wanted to do this for years. So they are now designated as terrorist organizations, foreign, and Mexico probably doesn't want that.
And President Trump pardons 1,500 Americans charged in the Capitol riots. It took migrant advocates only 2 hours to file a lawsuit against the Trump executive order to end birthright citizenship in the U.S. The new Secretary of State starts today. Senate colleagues confirm Secretary of State Marco Rubio, 99-0. John Ratcliffe for CIA director is up for Senate confirmation today. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. U.S. Department of Justice reaching an agreement with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office to resolve an investigation that was launched after the deadly shooting of Sonia Massey. DOJ looked into allegations of discriminatory practices by police and dispatching services. The department didn't find any evidence of discrimination, but worked with the county to develop measures that address concerns and improve community relations. A person wounded following a shooting in Arcola. Police say a man found shot Friday in the 200 block of South Pine Street. He was taken to the area hospital where his condition is not known. Authorities investigating a deadly hit and run in Urbana. Police say an SUV slammed into a Honda Civic stopped at the intersection of University and Kohler Avenues. 5 people in the Honda taken to hospitals, including a 20-year-old woman who died. The driver of that SUV ran off, remains on the loose. Anyone with information on this case, you're asked to contact local police. And that's a check of your news this morning. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
The Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida and Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Cold wave weather conditions here for the day today. Sunshine. Temperatures on a struggle. Gusty westerly winds. Highs to about 4 above. Pay heed to the various cold-related advisories and warnings that affect over the area. Overnight lows tonight down near 2 below this evening, but with slowly rising temperatures after midnight. Fair skies, southwest to south wind on the increase. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. Not so cold in the afternoon. Southwest to south winds continue on. A high about 24. Maybe a fleeting snow shower in spots late tomorrow night into Thursday. No accumulation. 20 tomorrow night up to 28 on Thursday. Sunshine and 25 for the day on Friday. Into the weekend, another passing snow shower or flurry chance on Saturday. Nothing Sunday. More clouds and sun, but temperatures return to perhaps even top out above seasonal levels at 36 on Saturday, 37 on Sunday. Quiet weather continuing on into early next week. Monday and Tuesday, some sunshine. Highs into the low to mid 30s. For TVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. We are a locally owned community bank that has served the area since 1955. Fisher National is rooted in the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on providing financial resources that match or better the mega banks. We are your friends and neighbors who are involved in your communities and take a vested interest in seeing our customers thrive and prosper. Offering a line of rewarding consumer-centric deposits, home mortgages, small business banking, and agricultural lending. There are no compromises banking local with Fisher National. Our convenient online and mobile tools are second to none. We'll work hard to meet your financial needs and earn your trust. Learn more about Fisher National at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
All right, 25 before the hour. We have texts at 217-359-2255. What do you got?
So Tyler said, I think Trump's oath was rushed. I think Justice Roberts was dead set on getting the oath done by noon to uphold the tradition. Trump started the oath at 12:01 or 12:02. He probably should have waited another 30 seconds. I don't think it was intentional or had anything to do with not wanting to use the Bibles.
No, I think you're totally right. I think Tyler's right. I think it was rushed. I think and Chief Justice Roberts was the guy kind of in charge of the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if I'm Chief Justice Roberts, I said, President Trump family, if you want to get ready, we'll do the oath for the President of the United States. I mean, just that simple thing.
Some kind of transition statement.
Everybody would have rallied around. Melania was 2 steps back, I think a whole row up, and there was somebody between them. Because remember, the Vance kids are trying to get out with nannies. Yes. And so they're 3 little kids.
And, the whole look of it all was supposed to be outside, and there probably was a bigger stage in all of this. To me, it was all a little crunched in there.
It was a little crunched in there because I think the number was like 700 or 800 in the rotunda. And then you had 2,100 in the statuary hall. Lunch looked really crowded.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Pete Hegseth sitting next to Justice Clarence Thomas. I bet that would have been interesting.
Okay.
Anyway, no, it was different, but I think to a person, they were happy they were inside.
Right, for sure.
Because the numbers of people, and you're thinking, boy, those poor people will be so cold. Well, you also have all the workers, all the security, all the police, all the fire, everybody is out there for 12 hours. Our friend John Decker will get his take on how his day went with everything. He was on his way to doing another 40 live television hits across America on all the stations Gray Television owns.
Mm-hmm.
But it was our kind of royal, when you watch a royal family do something, that's what the world watched.
Yep.
And I think there's a lot of hope and a lot of optimism. Vladimir Putin has already said, I've always been about negotiating versus anything else. If we want to talk, I'm open.
Let's do it with all the world leaders and have more of a conversation.
Well, he's been invited to China. President Xi's already invited him.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, if he's talking tariffs and if Canada all of a sudden has 25% more to pay us, and same for Mexico, then there's going to be some changes that they're going to have to make or they're going to have to pay. And just the way, the way you become a great negotiator is you have no emotion. You're not all tied up into getting that house or buying that deal, buying that business. He has totally that gift of saying, I don't need to do it. He said, I don't need Brazil. Brazil needs me.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a guy that has a lot of experience negotiating, and the other countries are going, wait a minute, man, they're going to make us do it. And he was talking about the World Health Organization. We got out of that. Last night we got out of that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Except they were charging me $500 million a year to get in that thing.
Whoa.
$500 million, and they charged China with 4 times the population, $39 million. 39 billion for China. It was 500 million. 39 million is all China paid to be in World Health, and we're at 500 million. He said they're ripping us off. And he said, then they came back and they said, okay, you can do 39 million too. And he said, no. We got a CDC. We'll do our own
we're
thing.
out. There's some text in about the January 6th pardons and about the blanket pardon with Biden and his criminal family and blah, blah, blah. So what's your opinion about all of that?
I think the January 6th people have been pretty much trained just like the 2020 election. You can't question it, or you're some sort of irrational right-winger. I mean, I think we need answers on a lot of things. And I don't think the January 6th was straight up. I think there were FBI involved that agitated a little bit. There were people that did bad things, and they need to be punished. But there were also people that got the key thrown away without a trial. What universe would you think that was fair if a family member was arrested for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, didn't really do anything, but had no trial?
Right. Well, this talks about letting death row murderers out.
Well, that's what Biden did.
Right.
37 death row people are on the street after heinous murders.
Yes.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know.
And
then it talks about journalists and how we feel about the journalistic coverage of yesterday's event.
I think it was pretty good.
Okay.
I do. I think that it was like all of a sudden it's not, the journalists aren't throwing questions at him saying, why are you such an ogre? Why are you so horrible, President? Before, I think he totally surprised by what happened to him last time, that the reception would be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
He had a huge rally of hundreds of thousands of paid protesters that were on there. Now, what happens if the money dries up and Facebook doesn't give the Biden administration $450 million? Now they're on Team Trump. The money's going to dry up. Guess what? So will the protests. If you don't pay these folks, they ain't going.
Yeah.
It's just a business, right? So I really think it's a little different this time. There is actually a honeymoon this time. Probably dissipate. They always do. But the fact that Trump has 56% approval, when has he been above 42?
Well, we had talked earlier today, and you can always access our show at steviejay.com, and on X, you can see the show and then watch it on your phone or however that looks every morning, Stevie Jay FM. But it talks, Rick had mentioned about the press conference and the Oval Office and answering more questions than Biden did the last 4 years, and feeling like a leader who knows what's going on and projects this leadership is such a much better look.
He's not wishy-washy, is he? Here's what I think, here's why I think it, and that's what we're doing. Well, wait a minute. No, I'm the president. That's what we're doing.
But to me, it was a little campaigny when he was, instead of pro-America and let's get some stuff done, and a new chapter when he was making a lot of these speeches.
Well, when he was at the inauguration, I'll give it to you that some of it had to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To say how bad it's been.
Right.
And they're sitting right there.
I know.
But he didn't waver. That's what he's been saying.
Right.
Should he have not said, we're going to close the border immediately? That was the way forward. And because they're totally pro-open border, and we're not.
Right.
So but that's one of the reasons he was elected. Probably number one reason was the border. The fact that he comes back around and says, here's what we're doing. We're not wavering because they're in the room. It's been bad, and we're going to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And so being the person that was before, I guess you were involved in being bad, according to him. I don't know what Biden was going to say. He looked like he was kind of enjoying it, just kind of smirking. He just pardoned his whole family. And Trump didn't even know.
Right.
He's doing the speech and didn't even know.
So, and then there's a comment about Marco Rubio would have been the 100th vote. He joked last week that he might vote for himself.
I understand he voted for himself, and there was somebody missing. I don't know what happened or abstaining, whatever. It was 99-0. Now, he's the senator. So Tammy Duckworth talked glowingly about Marco Rubio because when she first got to the Senate, he was kind to her.
Right.
And she mentioned that.
Oh, nice.
And so that's the value of being kind to people.
Yes,
it is. Sometimes
and
it'll
let's
help
hope we have more of that in this
I'm
new
all
chapter.
for it. And I think Trump wants to unify now. I do. I think this time he's really trying to unify and bring people together. Look at the team he's got. Elon Musk, Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard, former Democrat. Robert Kennedy Jr., Kennedy? The whole family turned on him. He said, he wanted to talk to Kamala Harris, remember? He wanted to talk to Kamala. What can I do? Nothing. That was kind of a mistake. Anyway, I think this team of rivals, so to speak, that's what the book about Abraham Lincoln, about getting people that didn't all agree. Mm-hmm. The coalition is arguably the biggest the Republican Party's ever had. You're talking about more Hispanics, more Black Americans. I mean, it's now showtime. You're gonna be able to help people. You said,
right?
Can you do it?
And can we check on some of these promises and see if this stuff gets done?
For Donald Trump, he's just not normal. He'll check on it for you. He is adamant about following through on what he said, and that's a business guy. Politicians don't do that. Are you kidding me? I can't remember one politician that came back from some big thing he said and said, hey, we did that.
Yep.
They don't do it. Because it's them.
Yeah, talk in one side of your mouth and out the other.
Thank you. That's it, everybody. Thank you for coming. Wow. No, this is a unique time. And if he ends up helping the Hispanics and the African Americans and deporting people and getting all the bad guys out, people are going to know about it because he'll tell you.
So the death row sentence reductions were commutations?
Computations?
Yes. And were not pardons. 33 people were moved from
out,
death row to life sentences.
Okay. They didn't get out.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay.
Right.
So they're not going to die. They'll be in prison that we'll pay for. But these are awful murders. Terrible. They're all bad. Murders are bad. But in some cases, multiple. And why? I also will argue, whether we'll ever know or not, I don't think Joe Biden knows what he's signing anymore. I just don't. I think his staff, just like Mike Johnson, we had it yesterday, saying that he had cut LNG gas, which hurt everybody.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I didn't. He said,
his home state of Louisiana.
He signed something he didn't know what he was signing.
Oh, man.
So the staff probably said, Mr. President, these people were unfairly treated, and he just signed it.
Well, Trump yesterday at the Oval Office sure was blowing through a lot of those elected. And while talking to the journalist there, I was like, are you paying attention?
I think Obama started the executive order in full. I don't think it's a good idea. I think you need to get legislation and laws.
Right.
But the executive order now all that he signed can be canceled in 4 years. The next guy comes in and cancels them all.
Does that ruin momentum on some of these good ideas?
No, it does. Absolutely. That's why you need to work with your Congress and see if you can get enough votes to pass things. That's hard to change when you get it that way. All right, quick sports and weather, then we're done. Stand by.
Actually, I called a provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Holiday hangover got you feeling weighted down. We're not talking candy, pie, and eggnog-induced pounds. We're talking about the clutter chaos. Old furniture, tank of lights, and junk galore. Time to detox your space with 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Ditch the junk and start fresh. Head to 2menjt.com and schedule your junk removal today. Use code NEWYEAR25 and score $25 off your next junk removal. Offer valid at 2 Men in a Junk Truck, Champaign, Illinois.
Yes, getting rid of the clutter. That, in fact, is the subject of our Stever offer offer. It is available at GoStever.com. I'm paying $200 for the big truck to come and take stuff away so you can feel organized.
Yes.
So get it going, 217-359-2255 or GoStever.com. And Diane went through the litany
I did.
of things they do.
And you can do the same as you visit twomenandajuncktruck.com. They've got some great ideas on things that you could get rid of and feel so much better
So
in
much better.
2025.
Organize. Don't rent a truck. Don't try and lift that thing. Come on, man.
Right.
I'm paying $200 on this deal for one person.
When you think of doing it yourself, you need the straps, you need the dolly, you really need to know the techniques. How many times have you moved something and then you ding a wall or you ding other furniture? And they're professionals and drug screened and background checked and all of that. You can trust Two Men and a Junk Truck, and you can text in junk to 217-359-2255 to get $200 off that job with our Stever offer today. Well, they moved up to 17. Our Illinois basketball team is in action against Maryland. That game Thursday, the 23rd at the State Farm Center at 8 o'clock. We have Express Employment Professionals, your link to top talent and recruitment opportunities, giving you an opportunity to win some tickets as you text in Illini 217-359-2255 and try to win. We had Penn State over Rutgers 80-72 yesterday. A handful of Big Ten games tonight, and it's always fun to watch the games at Pia's. And keep in mind, you can get that fan bus ride in the front circle drive dropped off at the State Farm Center when you go to the game on Thursday night. We had Auburn, Duke, Iowa State, Alabama, and Florida in the top 5 for the AP Top Football Poll. And we had Michigan State at 8, Purdue at 11, Wisconsin at 18. Michigan dropped to 21. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for Detroit, only 38, is the new Chicago Bears coach.
That's great news for the Chicago Bears, and you'll hear them all next season on Q96.1.
That's right.
Let's go.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
He is 1609 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Enjoy drink specials from Coors and Miller Lite, Twisted Tea, Captain Morgan, and Bullet Rye Bourbon. As we say, go Illini. Great drink specials, terrific pub food like the Slugger Burger, chicken fingers, loaded nachos, and fish on Fridays. Pia's will have a fan bus to watch the Illini. It leaves a half hour before tip-off. As you head to the State Farm Center, get dropped off and picked up in the front circle drive off 1st Street. Pia's 1609 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign.
We would like to invite you to the St. Joseph Ogden FFA auction February 1st at the St. Joseph Ogden High School. Dinner and silent auction begins at 5, followed by a live auction at 6. There are no tickets needed to attend, and anyone is welcome.
Items to be auctioned off include fire pits, solo stove, various Milwaukee tools, door lock welding table, various silent auction baskets and gift certificates from local businesses.
You can learn more about our auction at our Facebook page, St. Joseph Ogden FFA.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, this is Troy Lands from Lands Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. With colder temperatures here, let's make sure your heating system is operating at its best. At Lands, you can join our comfort family and get exclusive savings and support to keep your heating system in tip-top shape this winter and all year round. Our plans offer tune-ups, discounts on repair, and even lifetime system enhancements. Plus, we back up our equipment with labor warranty when we install it. Find out more about our comfort family maintenance plans at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana and Vicinity, cold wave weather pattern firmly ensconced here all the way down to the Gulf Coast, where at the leading edge of unsettled weather continues to generate winter storm conditions, would you believe, from the Texas Gulf Coast on eastward over the next couple of days, with cold wave weather to follow in that particular part of the country, too. Heads up on the cold going out the door this morning. We're down below zero. Later on today, a struggle up to about 4 above with sunshine. Bit of a westerly wind tonight. Not so cold. Lows near 2 below, but with slowly rising temperatures after midnight. For the day tomorrow, partly sunny, not so cold in the afternoon. Highs up to 24 on an increasing southwest to south wind. Maybe a snow shower late tomorrow night in a couple of spots on Thursday. Lows near 20 tomorrow night, up to 28 on Thursday. Sunshine 25 on Friday into the weekend. Maybe a snow shower Saturday, nothing Sunday. High temperatures will be in the 30s. Seasonal temperatures into early next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgay.
Okie dokie. That'll about do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We have Johnny and Ed Martin on tomorrow normally.
Yeah.
But now that there's a new administration and Ed Martin is involved, but I'm not sure what's happened. Johnny texted him yesterday and said, "How's the new job?" And something has changed. And I think it might be for the better for Ed.
Okay.
But I don't know.
U.S. Attorney.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's something different than what we thought he was going to have, and they made a change immediately, and I don't know why.
Okay.
But I think it's a better spot for Ed Martin and maybe even more power.
But things happen for a reason, and he's got 4 kids that are in some key chapters of life, so maybe this will make it a little less stressful for him.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it makes it more stressful. Hopefully, Ed will be on tomorrow with Johnny, and we'll get the lowdown.
Sounds good.
Okay, but our inside of the White House might have just gone away. Dang it!
Well, and people love when John Decker is on Thursdays, starting 7:30 to 7:50 or so.
Yep, he's on, and he had a busy day yesterday. We'll get hear all about it. All right, thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
That is Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. We thank you so much for listening. We'll meet back on the radio, God willing, tomorrow. Stay warm and have a great Tuesday. When you're looking for your next vehicle, be sure to stop at Sarah Champagne and listen to Merez.
Hi, I'm Merez Johnson Jr., power forward for the University of Illinois basketball team. The only place you should shop for your next vehicle is Sarah Champagne, home of Honda, BMW, Buick GMC, and Subaru. Why? Because they treat you like family every time. Take it from me, Merez Johnson Jr. Sarah Champagne will be the last dealership you will ever work with.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
Holiday hangover got you feeling weighted down. We're not talking candy, pie, and eggnog-induced pounds. We're talking about the clutter chaos. Old furniture, tangled lights, and junk galore. Time to detox your space with 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Ditch the junk and start fresh. Head to 2menjt.com and schedule your junk removal today. Use code NEWYEAR25 and score $25 off your next junk removal. Offer valid at 2 Men in a Junk Truck, Champaign, Illinois.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Tim, talk to me about Gale Forex Trucking. Any news?
A couple of new drivers on board that joined the team, and I think I may have 1 open spot left, maybe 2. And we can always buy more trucks if they're good drivers. But it's been a challenge, but everybody has stayed safe, and I appreciate that. We've got a great group of guys that know that they have to safely service the customers, and they're doing that.
Describe the kind of driver you would love to hire.
Somebody that wants to work, knows the importance of being on time and servicing the customer, but also enjoys their quality home time with their family. It's difficult for truck drivers that are stuck out on the road for weeks at a time, so we just don't do that to them. We want them to have that quality time, rest their brain, rest their body, be with their family. That's real important to us.
How can people reach Tim Onstad?
They can get me at timo@gftlog.com.
Crime is happening right now in our neighborhoods and across our communities, but you can help stop it with a donation to Champaign County Crime Stoppers. Your tax-deductible donation is an investment in a safer community for your family, your business, and the future we all deserve. Crime Stoppers has been fighting crime and assisting local law enforcement for nearly 4 decades, and we are funded through the generous support of those willing to stand up against crime. Join our ranks by visiting ChampaignCountyCrimeStoppers.org and donating today.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
DSC's Tree of Hope, a symbol of community and possibility. Donations coming in before we wrap up January will support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, providing programs, resources, and the opportunity to thrive. Every light on the Tree of Hope represents a life touched by your generosity. Together we can create a brighter future for all. Make your gift before January 31st. Visit dsc-illinois.org.
This is WSJK Tuscola Champaign-Urbana.